It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, you got a lovely day to do it in, that's true. And I hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two, for I'd really like to stay.
Welcome to Ask Aunt Ann. It's a lovely day here, and I hope it's a lovely day where you are. On today's show, we will be going Irish. St. Patrick's Day is certainly not just for the Irish anymore, and I like to celebrate the day with Irish-inspired food and music. Betty Jean will be stopping over to show me how to make bread with Guinness beer, and she has a beautiful Irish folk song to sing for us. And speaking of singing, we have the very talented Eric Chesney here to play not only an Irish tune, but one of his original songs as well. And if that's not enough, I have a fun little craft project that you will love. Let's get to that first letter. It's from Nancy Cook in Fayette. She writes, "Dear Aunt Ann, I love making fun little seasonal gifts for my book club friends. Do you have any ideas for St. Patrick's Day?" Do I ever, Nancy? These lottery cards are cute, inexpensive, and maybe worth a lot of money. This is what you'll need to make them. Cardstock paper in green or white colors, small alphabet stamps, an ink pad, decorative washi tape, scissors, a pencil, ruler, stapler, paper scorer, pennies, and some lottery tickets. If you don't have stamps and ink, you can simply use nice markers and do the lettering by hand. First, measure and cut your cardstock into strips that measure 3 inches wide by 8 5/8 inches long. Next, measure and score each strip at 1 inch and 5 1/8 inches from the same end. Scoring basically makes it easier to fold the paper and gives you a nice clean crease. It's okay if you don't have a scoring tool like mine, but you can just fold it instead. If you are using an ink pad, the next thing to do is lightly color the edges of the paper with the ink. I'm using this ink blending sponge, which makes a nice colorful edge with the festive green ink I'm using, but you could just omit this step altogether. Next, stamp the phrase "feeling lucky" on the front of the card. Be sure your letter placement is correct. The lettering should be on the large flap that folds down over the top of the lotto ticket. It's okay if you don't have stamps. You can simply use a marker and some creative lettering to write the phrase by hand. Now fold the 1 inch flap up at the scored line and staple the lotto ticket inside that fold. Make sure you staple the part of the ticket that you don't actually scratch off. The larger flap will fold down over the lotto ticket and tuck inside the smaller stapled flap, just like a matchbook. Finally, secure a shiny penny with a strip of decorative washi tape just underneath the front lettering. Of course, the penny is what the gift recipient will use to scratch off the ticket. Aren't they clever? And they are so much fun to give your friends. Good luck! And as always, you can find these instructions on my website, askantann.com. It sounds like Betty Jean is here.
Hi, Ann. It's so nice to see you.
Hi, Betty Jean. I'm so excited to learn how to make your delicious beer bread. But I know that you've got a song prepared, so let's hear that first.
That sounds like a great plan. I've met some folks who say that I'm a dreamer, and I've no doubt there's truth in what they say. but sure our body's bound to be a dreamer when all the things he loves are far away, and precious things are dreams unto an exile. They take him o'er the land across the sea, especially when it happens he's an exile from that dear lovely Isle of Innisfree. And when the moonlight peeks across the rooftops of this great city, wondrous though it be, I scarcely feel its wonder or its laughter. I'm once again back home in Innisfree. I wandered o'er green hills, through dreamy valleys, and found a peace no man could ever know. I hear the birds make music fit for angels, and watch the rivers laughing as they flow. But dreams don't last, though dreams are not forgotten. And soon I'm back to stern reality. But though they pave the footways here with gold dust, I still would choose my Isle of Innisfree.
That was beautiful. Thanks for sharing it with us.
My pleasure, Anne. Now let's get cooking.
So what ingredients do we need?
3½ cups all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons sugar, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1½ teaspoons salt, 12 ounces of beer. The beer makes a big difference in how the bread tastes. I really like the flavor of Guinness. You will also need 1 egg beaten. First, adjust your oven rack to the lower middle position and leave enough room for the loaf to rise. Heat the oven to 375 degrees. In a medium-sized bowl, mix the dry ingredients using a whisk to distribute evenly. Next, add the beer and stir with a fork until combined. Turn the dough onto a floured surface and knead it quickly to form a ball. Place on a baking sheet and slice an X on top with a serrated or very sharp knife. Brush the loaf with the egg wash and bake until golden brown, about 45 minutes. You can tell it's done by the hollow sound you get when you wrap the bottom of the loaf. Let it cool on a wire rack.
You're right, Betty Jean. That was really simple and so good. It would be wonderful with a nice soup on a chilly March day.
Oh, it is. You know, I think I'm going to go home and make another loaf and have it for dinner tonight. Say hi to Eric for me.
I will. Thanks for the lesson.
You're welcome.
Eric, thank you for stopping by and sharing some of your music with us today.
Thank you for having me.
How long have you been writing your own music?
It's about 25 years now.
And in addition to the keyboard, what other instruments do you play?
Well, the keyboard actually is not my primary instrument. I started out in music as a violinist. So violin and viola are the two instruments that I play most, and then add into that the guitar, and then the piano, and then when I'm recording music, whatever the song calls for.
You're so talented, and we're so glad to have you today. Tell us a little bit about the original song that you'll be performing for us.
Well, the song is called Beautiful Little Town, and it was actually written for the Lake Mills celebration of the 175th centennial back in 2011. It was a song that was commissioned specifically for that event. And it's a song really in celebration of your sense of community and connection. Certainly the community and connection that we have in Lake Mills. But the people that hear the song, a lot of people that hear the song say that it could be just about any town that they live in.
Very good. Thank you. Everyone, this is Eric Chesney.
In a lifetime, you find some place that makes you feel like you belong. Once in a lifetime, you find a home that finds you weak and makes you strong. And while this mixed up world tries desperately to spin out of control, it can be hard to find a loving place that claims you for its own. But you're not alone in this beautiful, beautiful little town. This beautiful, beautiful little town we call home. Walking down the street on a sunny afternoon, you hear the music of the church bells playing Sunday's friendly tunes. And on a Wednesday night, the city band plays concerts in the park, while the children race around to catch their fireflies in the dark. And everywhere you look, you see the scenes that bring you peace, the comfort of these friendly shops and long familiar streets in this beautiful, beautiful little town. This beautiful, beautiful little town we call home. In this beautiful, beautiful little town. This beautiful, beautiful little town. In this beautiful, beautiful little town we call home. Once in a lifetime, you know in your heart where you belong. And you call it home. You call it home. This beautiful, beautiful little town. This beautiful, beautiful little town.
That was lovely, Eric.
Thank you.
How can our viewers at home obtain a copy of your recording?
Well, we don't yet have a website set up, so probably just through my contact information. Do you want me to share that with this? Okay, so the phone number that I can be reached at is 920-648-3938. Otherwise by email at eches at tds.net.
Very good. And Eric, do you have any live performances in the area coming up soon?
We do have a live performance at the Lake Mills Winter Series on Saturday, March 7th. I believe that starts at 7 o'clock at Soundhaven Studios in Lake Mills. And that is Mark Hoggett and I performing there that evening.
Well, I can't let you leave today without hearing an Irish tune.
An Irish tune.
Do you have something you can share with us?
I do. It's a medley of two traditional Irish songs. Depending on what your background is, you would know them as Be Thou My Vision or Make Us True Servants. And then another tune called Beach Spring, which also goes by a number of different names depending on the context.
Please take it away, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. I hope you'll stop by and visit us again.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
And we'll have that information on how to get Eric's CDs on our website, askandann.com. Well, I think we have time for one more letter. This one is from Alan Emmerich in Cambridge. He writes, Dear Aunt Anne, I love adding Bailey's Irish cream to my coffee, but I don't think it's a good idea at work. Do you have a recipe for making a non-alcoholic version? Well, Alan, I have a great one that I've used. It comes from Country Woman magazine, and here's how to make it. You'll need 1 can, 12 ounces evaporated milk, 1 cup heavy whipping cream, 1/2 cup 2% milk, 1/4 cup sugar, 2 tablespoons chocolate syrup, 1 tablespoon instant coffee granules, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon almond extract. Pour everything into a blender and mix until the mixture is smooth and the color is consistent. I like to add about 1/3 of a cup of the Irish cream to a 1/2 cup of coffee, but you mix to your tastes. Leftovers can be stored in the refrigerator. Thanks so much for the letter, Alan. Let me know what you think of this version. Well, time has certainly flown by, but before I leave you, I have a St. Patrick's Day wish for you. This is called A Wish for a Friend. Wishing you a rainbow for sunlight after showers, Miles and miles of Irish smiles for golden happy hours. Shamrocks at your doorway for luck and laughter too. And a host of friends that never ends each day your whole life through. Thank you for watching and spending some time with us today. I'll be back next month with a show that will be celebrating flowers just in time for spring. So please stop by for a visit.
It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, you got a lovely day to do it in, that's true. And I hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two, for I'd really like to stay. It's a lovely day today, and whatever you've got to do, I'd be so happy to be doing it with you. But if you've got something that must be done, and it can only be done by one, there is nothing more to say, except it's a lovely day for saying it's a lovely day. This moment on, you for me, dear, only to pretend, dear, from this moment on, from this happy day, no more